Today we'll learn the imperfect tense of two more helping verbs or modals. First, a review of the last lessons. We learned how to make the past tense of a weak verb like kaufen, the past tense meaning the imperfect tense, the one that's used more in narration, more in stories, more in written form. It's how it's ich kaufte, du kauftest, kaufte, wir kauften, ihr kauftet, und sie kauften. And we learned that with a verb like warten, whose stem ends in a T, or if there's one that ends in a D, we need an extra E, and we end up with ich wartete, du wartetest, wartete, wir warteten, ihr wartetet, und sie warteten. And we also learned that haben is usually used in the imperfect tense, even in conversation, when used in the past. So it's ich hatte, du hattest, hatte, wir hatten, ihr hattet, und sie hatten. You know this verb already, the verb arbeiten, to work. The stem ends in a T, just like with warten that we just reviewed. So that being the case, show me that you understand how to form the imperfect tense of this weak verb by adding the appropriate TE endings. Give me the ich form. Arbeitete, good, the du form. Arbeitetest, Arbeitete, wir. Arbeiteten, ihr. Arbeitetet, sie. Arbeiteten, good. And in the last lesson, we also learned that the imperfect tense is the preferred past tense of the verb können, how it was ich konnte, du konntest, konnte, wir konnten, ihr konntet, und sie konnten. And also for the verb müssen, to have to or must, how it's ich musste, du musstest, musste, wir mussten, ihr musstet, and sie mussten. Here are two example sentences. Ich konnte Klavier spielen. I was able to play the piano. Or du musstest Feuer machen. You had to make a fire. Now let's learn two more helping verbs in this tense today. First, let's review dürfen in the present tense. We've learned this before. It's ich darf, I may, I'm allowed to. Du darfst, darf, wir dürfen, ihr dürft, und sie dürfen. Now let's learn the imperfect tense. Of course, it's still a weak verb. It takes the TE endings, and you could probably guess, and it's the case, that the umlaut will disappear. It's for I was allowed to, ich durfte, du durftest, durfte, wir durften, ihr durftet, und sie durften. This is again the preferred past tense of dürfen in spoken German even. Let's practice it. You'll be changing a present tense sentence to a past tense one. I'll do the first one as a model, and in the process, we'll review some sport terms. Darf Basketball spielen, of course, means he's allowed to play basketball, or he may play basketball. In the past tense, it would translate as he was allowed to play basketball. And just like können and müssen, dürfen is a helping verb that forces the other verb to the end of the sentence in its infinitive form, which is why spielen is in the infinitive form at the very end of the sentence or clause. Now, to say he was allowed to play basketball, you just change the main verb, darf, to durfte, and there it is. The rest of the sentence stays the same. Durfte Basketball spielen. He was allowed to play basketball. Once again, I'll read present tense sentences and pause for you to make it the past tense. You should find this easy. Ready? Ich darf Fußball spielen. Make it I was allowed to play soccer. Ich durfte Fußball spielen. Du darfst Eishockey spielen. Make it you were allowed to play ice hockey. Du durftest Eishockey spielen. Sie darf Volleyball spielen. Make it she was allowed to play volleyball. Sie durfte Volleyball spielen. Wir dürfen Tennis spielen. Make it we were allowed to play tennis. Wir durften Tennis spielen. Ihr dürft Golf spielen. Make it you were allowed to play golf. Ihr dürftet Golf spielen. Sie dürfen Football und Baseball spielen. Make it you, formal, or they were allowed to play football and baseball. Sie durften Football und Basketball spielen. Good. We've also learned this helping verb, wollen, the verb to want to, and how it's ich will, which doesn't mean I will, it looks like it, but it means again, I want to. Ich will, du willst, will, wir wollen, ihr wollt, und sie wollen. And now let's learn the imperfect tense of this. Once again, it's going to take TE endings, so you could probably almost guess. It's ich wollte for I wanted to. Du wolltest. Wollte, wir wollten, ihr wolltet, und sie wollten. It's that easy. Again, this is the preferred past tense of wollen in spoken German. So let's practice it. You'll be changing a present tense sentence to a past tense one, just like we've been doing, and I'll do the first one as a model. And in the process, we'll review some beach terms. Will am Strand schwimmen. He wants to swim at the beach. I would change to the past tense, saying, wollte am Strand schwimmen. He wanted to swim at the beach. Once again, this is a helping verb, so therefore the infinitive, schwimmen, is at the end of the sentence or clause in its infinitive form. I'll pause for you to respond. I'll say the present tense, you say the past. Ready? You're just changing one word again and read the rest of the sentence. Ich will eine Sandburg bauen. Make it, I wanted to build a sandcastle. Ich wollte eine Sandburg bauen. Du willst unter dem Sonnenschirm sitzen. Make it, you wanted to sit under the parasol. Du wolltest unter dem Sonnenschirm sitzen. Sie will flip-flops tragen. Make it, she wanted to wear flip-flops. Sie wollte flip-flops tragen. Wir wollen barfuß gehen. Make it, we wanted to go barefoot. Wir wollten barfuß gehen. Ihr wollt tauchen. Make it, you wanted to go diving. Ihr wolltet tauchen. Sie wollen Frisbee spielen. Make it, they or you formal wanted to play Frisbee. Sie wollten Frisbee spielen. Good job. Auf Wiedersehen.